God says, a group of 12 people is convincing your mother because they desire something from her. This intriguing scenario sets the stage for a narrative that delves into the complexities of human nature, persuasion, and the dynamics of influence. In this video, we'll explore the psychology behind persuasion, the power dynamics at play in group settings, and how individuals navigate the delicate balance between personal desires and external pressures. Imagine this: your mother finds herself at the center of attention, surrounded by a group of 12 people, each with their agenda and motivations. They are engaging her in conversation, employing a variety of tactics to sway her opinion and gain her support for their cause. From heartfelt appeals to logical arguments, they are pulling out all the stops to convince her to align with their interests. But what exactly is happening in this scenario? Why is it that some people can persuade others with such ease, while others struggle to make their voices heard? To understand this phenomenon, we must first delve into the psychology of persuasion. At its core, persuasion is the art of influencing others to adopt a certain belief, attitude, or behavior. It involves tapping into our innate cognitive biases, emotions, and social dynamics to make a compelling case for our point of view. From the classic principles outlined by persuasion experts like Robert Cialdini to the more recent insights from behavioral economics and neuroscience, there is a wealth of research that sheds light on how persuasion works. One of the key factors in persuasion is the concept of social proof. This refers to the tendency of individuals to look to others for guidance in uncertain situations. When we see others endorsing a particular idea or behavior, we are more likely to follow suit, assuming that if so many others believe it, it must be true or worthwhile. In the case of your mother and the group of 12 people, they may be leveraging social proof by presenting themselves as a united front, thereby increasing the perceived validity of their arguments. Another important aspect of persuasion is reciprocity. People have a natural inclination to repay others for favors or acts of kindness. By offering your mother something of value, whether it's tangible, like a gift or a favor, or intangible, like respect or validation, the group of 12 people may be hoping to elicit a sense of obligation in her, making her more likely to reciprocate by supporting their cause. Furthermore, the principle of authority plays a role in persuasion. We are more likely to be swayed by individuals who are perceived as experts or figures of authority in a given domain. If the members of the group can establish themselves as knowledgeable or influential figures, they may be able to wield greater influence over your mother's decision-making process. But persuasion is not just about manipulating others. It's also about building genuine rapport and connection. People are more likely to be persuaded by those they like and trust. If the group of 12 people can establish a sense of camaraderie with your mother, they may be able to create a bond that transcends mere persuasion, leading her to genuinely support their cause out of a sense of loyalty or friendship. Of course, persuasion is not always a one-sided affair. Your mother is not merely a passive recipient of influence, she also has agency and autonomy. She must weigh the arguments presented to her, consider her values and priorities, and ultimately make a decision that aligns with her own beliefs and interests. In navigating this complex interplay of persuasion and autonomy, your mother may draw upon various cognitive strategies to evaluate the arguments presented to her. From critical thinking and logical reasoning to intuition and gut instincts, she must sift through the information overload and discern the true merits of each perspective. At the same time, your mother may also face external pressures and social expectations that shape her decision-making process. She may feel pressure to conform to the group's consensus, fear social backlash or rejection if she goes against the grain, or experience cognitive dissonance if her beliefs clash with the opinions of those around her. As the drama unfolds between your mother and the group of 12 people, it becomes clear that persuasion is not just a matter of winning hearts and minds, it's a reflection of our deepest desires, fears, and aspirations. It's about the stories we tell ourselves, the identities we construct, and the connections we forge with others. In the grand theatre of human existence, each of us plays multiple roles: persuader and persuadee, influencer and influenced, actor and audience. We are constantly engaged in a delicate dance of persuasion, negotiation, and compromise, seeking to reconcile our desires with the collective needs of society. So, what becomes of your mother and the group of 12 people? Do they reach a consensus, finding common ground and mutual understanding? Or do they remain locked in a battle of wills, each stubbornly clinging to their perspective? Ultimately, the outcome of this scenario may remain uncertain, but one thing is clear: the power of persuasion is a potent force that shapes our thoughts, beliefs, and actions in profound ways. Whether we are swaying others to our side or being swayed by their arguments, we are all participants in the eternal dance of persuasion, a dance that reveals the intricate tapestry of human nature in all its complexity and nuance. In the case of your mother and the group of 12 people, their intentions may vary widely depending on their motivations and goals. Some may genuinely believe in the righteousness of their cause and seek to persuade your mother out of a sincere desire to make the world a better place. Others may have more self-serving motives, using persuasion as a means to exert control or gain advantage over others. But even as technology advances, the fundamental principles of persuasion remain rooted in human psychology and behavior. Whether online or offline, the art of persuasion is ultimately about connecting with others on a deeper level, appealing to their emotions, values, and beliefs to win their hearts and minds. As we reflect on the complexities of persuasion, it's worth considering how we can become more discerning consumers of information and more responsible wielders of influence. By cultivating critical thinking skills, fostering empathy and understanding, and maintaining a healthy skepticism of persuasive tactics, we can navigate the sea of persuasion with greater clarity and integrity. In the end, the story of your mother and the group of 12 people serves as a poignant reminder of the power and peril of persuasion in our lives. It invites us to reflect on our roles as persuaders and to consider the ethical implications of our actions in a world where influence is both a currency and a commodity. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where others are trying to persuade you, take a moment to pause and reflect. Consider the motives behind their arguments, weigh the evidence with an open mind, and listen to your inner voice.